So I'm going to throw this at you. There are some genetic and gender realities that seem unfair to me.
Oh, here
You're
we go.
driving on the freeway. You're driving on the freeway. Be totally honest. If a skinny guy is in a car eating, he's got burgers. You're thinking to yourself, that guy's on the go. He doesn't have time to stop. That guy is a hustler. He is making things happen.
Okay.
A heavy set guy in a car is eating burgers. You're like, and I am too. Oh, really? You can't even drive without eating? I mean, give me a break. Like what? What you can't pull over. You have to. We have no idea about those two people. That is how people view weight. We're all weightists at times.
Okay.
Gender,
Yeah.
gender.
I'm not saying no to your premise here, Colin. I can't.
Okay.
I love your analogies. Go ahead. I'll never refute
Here's
you.
a here's a gender reality.
Okay.
Men can hate each other. Jordan still holds a grudge against Isaiah. Somehow it makes him more likable.
Yeah.
Men can taunt, can trash talk. If Angel Reese appears to hate Caitlin Clark, it becomes a race topic. It is outrageous. It is unfair. And I'm like, time out. Women athletes can hate rivals too. It's not, to me, I'm like, is it race? Well, hate it used to be a commodity. Like you loved when the Ryder Cup. We hated the Euros. Now everybody's rich. But the Caitlin Clark Angel Reese rivalry, one got the best of the other in college the junior year. The other one got the best the senior year. One goes Midwest, small city. One goes big city. One gets more press. I look at it and I think it doesn't bother me that Angel Reese doesn't like Caitlin. By the way, Caitlin's game is fun and flashy. Angel's a rebounder. Like they're probably got a little built-in animosity. She won't get the press.
I think it's the worst story in sports media. I hate the discourse around it. I think it brings out the worst in everybody. I really do think it's just a lot of people are showing their ass on this story. Um, of course, what you just said is correct. One of my things, it's a trope, it's a cliche that I like the turn of phrase that I created. Less hate in the world, more hate in sports.
Yes.
Sports hate is good. It is objectively good. Now, when it leads to like fights in the stands, okay, fine, someone took it too far. But that doesn't mean that it is a bad thing. Trash talk, rivalries, bulletin board material, lobbying shots in the press, hard fouls, stare downs, the occasional fight. Those things are good. They're good for ratings. They're good for business. They're good for fan interest. They're good for jersey sales. They are good. It is good for the WNBA for there to be sports hate, for there to be
Yes.
rivalries. It is a
Yes.
good thing. That is so objectively, obviously true that I can't believe anyone even dares to deny it. I do think the Bird Magic stuff is a little ridiculous because Bird and Magic, in terms of talents, were kind of equals.
Yes. Yes.
This is more like Michael Jordan and Bill Laimbeer. They were rivals.
That's where it ended.
But they're not really the same type of player, right? They hated each other. They had great moments, but they were not like, no one was like, you know who carried the NBA to popularity? Michael Jordan and Bill Laimbeer. It was not how we describe it. Like, Caitlin Clark is the phenomenon. She's the comet. And like,
Yes.
does that spur jealousy? No doubt. Are there interesting racial components to that story that I think are fair to be discussed for a league that has had great players, white and black, before Caitlin Clark? Why haven't they caught on in the same type of way? Like, I think that there is like fair conversations to be had there. But like a hard foul by Angel Reese in a basketball game that like didn't even result in a fight. It resulted in she said the F word. Like, what the hell is the matter with people?
I know.
I mean, it's embarrassing. Like, and the we don't need to name the names. Everyone knows the discourse of who's going. Like, you're talking about people's wives and you're making it personal and then you're bringing all the, just shut up. Shut up. It's so beneath the industry to like take the discourse of online. You are amazing at not being too online. I give you a ton of credit for it. Nick Wright, it's amazing how he doesn't read his mentions. I still am addicted to my phone. I still read my mentions. I have gotten much better about not letting it bother me and not responding. But it is so very clear that way too many people in our industry formulate their opinions based on the algorithm that they see on X. And it's just complete horseshit. Like, I don't believe that people that go to that basketball game left being like, whew, you know what that was? A race war. Like, it was a basketball. I'm not like, it's crazy. And I'm not the biggest WNBA fan. I'm not claiming to have WNBA bona fides or like watching for years or like going 10 deep on all of the rosters. So people are like, Parkins, I don't give a shit about your WNBA takes. That's fine. I just know sports and narratives. That is a good thing for business. And people taking their online commentary that is designed to divide us and then making it actually like inform their sports opinions on television when they are multi-millionaire former professional athletes. They don't even realize what they're doing, but it's just very embarrassing. I really do find it embarrassing.
Sorry to interrupt this great video, but please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you. Now back to the video. Yeah, it's my take on Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese from the beginning is the league was growing, but she's Taylor Swift in tennis shoes. She's not, doesn't have to be the best player in the league. Taylor Swift doesn't have the best voice. Adele does. Like she doesn't have the best voice.
Sure.
There's some visceral connection between young women, middle-aged women, and Taylor Swift that I can't explain. I'm usually good at listening to music or watching sports and going, that's a superstar. I didn't see it with Taylor Swift. There's been Lady Gaga I connected. There have been a lot of artists. Adele.
You a Katy Perry guy?
Time I heard, when I heard Katy Perry, but like Adele. When I heard Adele, I was like, holy shit, what is that? That's crazy.
Sure.
Lady Gaga did that to me. I remember Garth Brooks years and years ago hearing him and going, it was like new country. It wasn't like, old in my dog in my porch. It was like cool country. And I'm like, Shania Twain. I'm usually pretty good at spotting stuff and going bang. The Taylor Swift up, I can't even explain it now. She got a nice voice. She's really smart, but I can't explain it. Caitlin Clark's not that hard to explain. Holy shit. She's taking shots.
Yeah, of course.
Some NBA players wouldn't take.
Of course.
I said she's Steph Curry plus Jason Kidd. The 60-foot passes, the 30-foot bombs. You're like, half the NBA would not make those plays. She's a comet because it doesn't look like anything else.
Right, of course. If a player in 5 years started dunking like Anthony Edwards, like we'd be like, oh my God, it's unbelievable because we haven't seen it in the WNBA, right? So yeah, I think that part of it is also very obvious. She's the Steph Curryization of basketball has hit women's basketball in a way and at a moment, and you and I have talked about this months ago now, like, listen, part of this is ESPN, which the world is changing, cable is changing, fine. It is still the behemoth of sports television. They promote the shit out of it.
Yeah.
That helps. Like real talented analysts, real talented broadcasters, they're not on ESPN News. Like they're in good time slots on good networks, on ABC, on ESPN, in prime time, on weeknights with a real pregame show and a real postgame show and a real play-by-play guy. And they do a good job on college hoops. And so like they're invested in it and it's a cyclical thing. And they hit this phenomenon. Like the fact that game that was a blowout outrated Yankees Red Sox, that matters. Like that matters. And so I mean, all the respect in the world to her talent, all the respect in the world to like people who have been WNBA fans for forever and have been like now get to say I told you so. But I wish our media colleagues realized a little bit better that they were being played by the algorithm because they're all athletes. They can't possibly be offended by that foul. They can't, it's impossible that a bunch of football players were so offended by that foul that they had to make this big of a deal out of it. So I just eventually they'll need to talk about the basketball. And I think for some people it's just easier to culture war everything. And I think it's unfortunate.